Welcome to this episode of Special Education Dispute Resolution. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share with everyone you know so that we can all grow together. This episode is a deep dive into due process. What do you think when you hear the term due process? What are the thoughts that come to your mind? A lot of people, it's scary. It doesn't have to be. However, it's very serious. This is the most serious of the 4 avenues for dispute resolution in Special Education Part B because it's the one you have the least control in. The other 2 that we talked about in the first video, facilitated IEP meeting and mediation that you have the most control in, are most likely where you're going to want to be. The state complaint has somewhat control, but due process has the least control. So let's talk about that. At a due process hearing, there's going to be testimony from witnesses, evidence presented to a fair and impartial hearing officer. I'm a fair and impartial hearing officer in that setting. There's a court reporter. Your testimony is going to be taken down. At the end of it all, I'm going to take the testimony, I'm going to take the evidence presented as exhibits, and I'm going to take those together and compare those with the statute, regulations, and case law. I prepare a written decision. That decision is appealable to court with jurisdiction. Any court with jurisdiction it can be appealed to, whether that's state or federal court. It will most likely be appealed to federal court. It could go up the chain. It's going to start out at the district court level. It could go to the Court of Appeals. It could go on to the United States Supreme Court. That's where you have your most famous precedents that most people in America are aware of by name. So, how do you think you have the least control in due process? First, it's got the hearing officer in control at the beginning. But then, even the hearing officer is not truly in control. The decisions that I issue are not titled Dr. Bradley's opinion on teaching and learning. They are titled Hearing Decision and Final Order. And that's because it's not my opinion. I don't get an opinion in this. My job is to compare what you've said in testimony and the exhibits that you've presented with the case law and the statute and regulations and put that in a context where it provides a rational decision, and then that's appealable to court. So my job is not to be the final authority. My job is to put together the record, issue a decision, and it goes up the chain if the parties want to take it up the chain. So I'm not in control, and I do not have final authority at the hearing. I control the hearing process, and that's very different from actually having an opinion and making case law like the judges do in the courts. I hope this was helpful to you. Let's keep talking about this. Send me a comment. Tell me what your thoughts are on this. Have you been to due process? Have you thought about due process? Do you know someone who's been in due process? What are your thoughts on due process? Tell me what you think, what you want to know more about, and we'll get into it. Thank you and take care.